Imagine a life where every action, every decision, every breath you take prioritizes your well-being and self-respect. That's the essence of living a life rooted in Stoic principles that prioritize putting yourself first, not in a selfish, self-centered way, but in a way that honors your inner peace, your goals, and your well-being. When we decide to put ourselves first, it doesn't mean we disregard others. It means we make a conscious choice to establish boundaries, practice self-respect, and live by values that serve us. By doing this, we ultimately show up better for those around us. Let's explore 12 powerful Stoic principles that help you achieve that kind of balanced, resilient life. One of the first principles is to value your time and energy. Your time is the one resource you'll never get back, and when you value it, you are essentially valuing yourself. Avoid wasting time on things that don't align with your values or goals. Stoics believed in the power of focusing on what matters, so let go of distractions, commitments that don't fulfill you, and people who drain your energy. By respecting your time, you are setting a tone for how others will treat it as well. Another essential Stoic principle is accepting the things you cannot control and focusing only on what you can. So much anxiety and stress in life come from trying to control the uncontrollable. Stoics remind us that true peace lies in understanding that while we can't control circumstances, other people's opinions, or unexpected challenges, we can control how we respond to them. When you start to let go of external control, you free up energy to invest in your growth and development. This principle reinforces the idea of putting yourself first by helping you avoid unnecessary stress and instead focus on your personal power. Next is the practice of setting clear boundaries. For the Stoics, boundaries weren't about isolating oneself, but protecting one's inner peace. They understood that to lead a fulfilling life, it's crucial to maintain healthy boundaries with people and situations. Putting yourself first means understanding when to say no to things that aren't in your best interest. It's about making choices that serve you, not those that drain or compromise your values. Setting boundaries communicates self-respect and teaches others to respect your limits. Gratitude, though it might seem simple, is another Stoic practice that helps put yourself first by shifting focus to what you already have, rather than always seeking external validation. By practicing gratitude daily, you remind yourself of the things that fulfill you, centering yourself in the present moment. When you're truly grateful, you'll find yourself less inclined to seek approval or validation from others. Instead, your contentment comes from within, which strengthens your sense of self-worth and helps you prioritize your own needs. The principle of living in harmony with nature is about aligning yourself with reality. Stoics believed that to live well, one must recognize and accept the natural order of things, embracing life as it is, rather than how you want it to be. This principle teaches that peace comes when we stop fighting reality. When you accept life's natural rhythm, you stop resisting, which allows you to spend more energy on things that genuinely matter to you. This alignment with reality helps you to let go of the unnecessary and focus on what's truly valuable to you, fostering an attitude of acceptance and self-compassion. Another fundamental principle is self-discipline, or what Stoics call temperance. When you practice self-discipline, you're choosing to honor your long-term goals over short-term desires. It means you're putting your future self first. By exercising restraint, whether in your habits, words, or impulses, you gain control over your life. You start choosing actions that serve your higher purpose, rather than being swayed by momentary urges. This inner discipline not only strengthens your character, but also solidifies a foundation of respect and commitment to yourself. In addition to self-discipline, the Stoics championed self-reflection as a way to prioritize personal growth. Every day, taking time to reflect on your actions, your thoughts, and your goals allows you to stay in alignment with your values. When you prioritize introspection, you become more aware of what truly matters to you and how you might improve. This process of checking in with yourself is an act of putting yourself first, as it keeps you connected to your path and purpose, making you more resilient to external influences. One of the most empowering Stoic principles is learning to detach emotionally from the opinions of others. Epictetus once said that other people's opinions are not within your control. When you recognize that you don't need to internalize anyone else's judgment or expectations, you set yourself free. Putting yourself first means valuing your own opinion above all others. By letting go of the need for external validation, you cultivate a stronger sense of self, grounded in your beliefs rather than in fleeting judgments from others. The Stoics also teach the importance of resilience, especially in the face of challenges. Life is full of obstacles, but Stoicism reminds us that each obstacle is an opportunity for growth. When you learn to face challenges head-on, you're putting your own growth first, choosing to strengthen rather than escape. Stoics see adversity as a teacher, showing us where we need to grow or adapt. By cultivating resilience, you learn to rely on your inner strength rather than on circumstances, building a core of stability that helps you prioritize your own well-being even in turbulent times. Practicing mindfulness is another Stoic approach that helps you stay centered. Being mindful means being fully present in each moment, aware of your thoughts and actions. In today's world, it's easy to get caught up in distractions or future anxieties, but mindfulness reminds us that the present is all we have. When you commit to being present, you're investing in your mental clarity and peace, choosing to focus on what matters most now, instead of losing yourself to what-ifs and maybes. This presence is a gift to yourself, a way of affirming that you deserve peace and mental space. Another crucial Stoic principle for putting yourself first is pursuing virtue or excellence in all that you do. The Stoics believed that virtue was the highest good and that everything else was secondary. When you focus on cultivating virtues like courage, integrity, and wisdom, you naturally begin to act in ways that serve your highest good. Living virtuously isn't about perfection, but about striving to be the best version of yourself. This pursuit of excellence aligns you with your deepest values, ensuring that every action you take respects your worth and integrity. The Stoics remind us to embrace amor fati, or the love of fate. This is the practice of embracing life exactly as it comes, not as we wish it to be. Putting yourself first sometimes means accepting that everything, both the good and the difficult, is part of your journey. When you learn to embrace every experience with an open heart, you stop fighting life and start flowing with it. Amor fati teaches that true self-respect comes from accepting all parts of your journey, trusting that each moment is there to serve your growth. By incorporating these Stoic principles into your daily life, you not only build a foundation of self-respect and inner peace, but also cultivate a resilience that allows you to thrive even in challenging times. The path of Stoicism is about honoring your values, setting clear boundaries, and nurturing your own growth. In doing so, you become your own ally, fully committed to living a life that respects and prioritizes your unique journey. When you live with these principles, the act of putting yourself first becomes less about making a choice and more about a natural way of being. Each principle we adopt brings us closer to living as our truest selves, unaffected by the chaos around us. Stoicism becomes a guide to protect our inner peace, while we navigate a world that constantly pulls us in different directions. Consider the power of taking responsibility as yet another key Stoic value. When we embrace accountability for our thoughts, actions, and reactions, we avoid the victim mindset and instead take full ownership of our lives. Stoics believed that we are in control of how we respond to every situation, even if we can't control the situation itself. By claiming responsibility, we claim our power. This isn't just about self-blame or guilt. It's about recognizing that each decision we make shapes the course of our lives. This sense of responsibility fortifies our commitment to put ourselves first, knowing that we are the architects of our own lives. Now think about the importance of equanimity, the ability to remain calm, composed, and unshaken in any situation. Stoics, like Seneca and Marcus Aurelius, cultivated this state of mind because it provided them with an unbreakable inner peace. Practicing equanimity is about learning to stay grounded no matter what storm may come. When you put yourself first, maintaining inner calm is essential. It shields you from the emotional waves that might otherwise pull you away from your path. This kind of composure doesn't mean indifference, but rather a deep commitment to not letting external chaos disturb your internal clarity. As you prioritize equanimity, you create an internal sanctuary where you can always return to, a space free from the noise of the world. An often overlooked Stoic principle is humility, a reminder to approach life with a sense of openness and modesty. Although putting yourself first might seem at odds with humility, true humility is about understanding your place within the larger world and respecting it. It's about knowing that you are enough as you are, that you don't need to prove yourself to anyone. This humility is a quiet strength, a confidence that doesn't seek approval. By embodying humility, you eliminate the need for external validation and become content in your own worth. The result? A deep inner peace that allows you to prioritize your needs without being pulled into comparison or competition with others. Then there's the principle of self-compassion, which is often discussed less in Stoicism, but is crucial to the practice. Self-compassion means treating yourself with kindness, understanding, and forgiveness. It's the recognition that while you strive for growth, you are still human, bound to make mistakes. When you put yourself first, part of that commitment is being gentle with yourself during difficult times. Self-compassion allows you to embrace your imperfections, to learn from them without harsh self-criticism. It's this gentle self-respect that builds resilience, teaching you to stand back up every time you fall, stronger and wiser than before. We also can't ignore the importance of continuous learning. The Stoics were lifelong learners, always in pursuit of knowledge, wisdom, and improvement. Putting yourself first includes investing in your growth, intellectually, emotionally, and spiritually. Knowledge not only broadens your perspective, but empowers you to make informed choices that serve you best. When you prioritize learning, you open doors to new understandings and capabilities, and each new piece of knowledge becomes a building block toward a more fulfilling life. Continuous learning encourages you to evolve constantly, reminding you that the best way to honor yourself is by committing to never-ending growth. The concept of aligning with your purpose is another Stoic ideal that reinforces the value of putting yourself first. For the Stoics, living with purpose was essential to living a good life. Purpose gives direction, shapes your actions, and influences your decisions. When you're clear on your purpose, every step you take serves that higher calling. You no longer expend energy on things that aren't meaningful or productive. Instead, you create a life where every action resonates with your core values, guiding you toward what truly matters. Living with purpose not only brings fulfillment, but serves as a powerful reminder that your life is worthy of focus and dedication. We come to the principle of embracing impermanence. Stoics knew that life is fleeting and that everything, relationships, possessions, moments, is temporary. By recognizing impermanence, you are reminded to value the present, to find gratitude and joy in the here and now. Embracing impermanence doesn't mean living with a sense of loss. It's about appreciating what you have while you have it. This principle frees you from the burden of attachment and fear of loss, allowing you to focus on what truly matters. When you understand that nothing is permanent, you stop chasing endlessly and instead find fulfillment within yourself. Each of these Stoic principles weaves together to create a lifestyle that honors your inner world. They offer a roadmap for a life where you prioritize self-respect, inner peace, and purpose. A life where you don't just survive, but truly thrive. When you put yourself first in this Stoic way, you aren't turning your back on others. You're becoming the best version of yourself so that you can bring strength, wisdom, and compassion into all areas of your life. Through these principles, you cultivate a life where your happiness and well-being are non-negotiable, a life that uplifts not only you, but everyone you touch. A Stoic life is built on an inner foundation, one that can withstand both the highs and lows, unaffected by the whims of the world. This is the power of understanding that every moment, every principle we follow helps us stand firm. One often overlooked principle in Stoicism that reinforces this foundation is patience. Stoics saw patience as a vital virtue, understanding that life's most meaningful transformations happen over time. Putting yourself first means not rushing, not forcing results, but letting life unfold in its natural pace. In practicing patience, you become less reactive, giving yourself room to make decisions aligned with your true self, rather than impulsive, emotion-driven choices. Another core principle is practicing simplicity. In a world often driven by excess and materialism, Stoics valued simplicity in both their surroundings and in their lives. Simplicity isn't about deprivation, it's about focusing on what's essential and letting go of what's unnecessary. When you simplify, you cut away the noise and distractions, which in turn gives you clarity. By choosing a life that isn't cluttered with endless desires, you can prioritize your personal peace and well-being, seeing value in what truly matters. Simplicity allows you to recognize that you are enough without constant external affirmations or material additions. Then there is the principle of courage, a Stoic virtue that teaches us to face life's inevitable difficulties with a steady heart. Courage in Stoic practice isn't just bravery in the face of danger, it's the bravery to be yourself, to stand by your values, and to face even your inner fears without flinching. Putting yourself first means sometimes making tough decisions, walking away from situations that don't serve you, or standing up for your beliefs even when it's unpopular. Courage is the shield that allows you to protect your peace and remain authentic, reminding you that honoring yourself is an act of strength, not selfishness. Forgiveness, too, plays a role in Stoic philosophy. While forgiveness isn't traditionally emphasized in Stoic writings, the practice of letting go aligns deeply with Stoic resilience and acceptance. Holding on to resentment or anger only weighs you down, pulling energy away from your personal growth. Stoics believe in focusing on what serves you, and holding grudges does the opposite. By practicing forgiveness, not for others, but for your own peace, you release yourself from the burdens of the past. Forgiveness, in this way, is another act of putting yourself first, freeing yourself from negative emotions and creating space for positivity and growth. Stoics also valued adaptability, recognizing that life is ever-changing and that to live well, one must be prepared to adjust and flow with change. Adaptability means you're open to new perspectives, new circumstances, and even new versions of yourself. By staying flexible, you avoid the rigidity that often leads to frustration and disappointment. Putting yourself first here means allowing yourself to evolve, to shift course when necessary, and to welcome growth without resistance. Adaptability is a form of resilience that equips you to thrive no matter what life brings your way. Embracing mindfulness, another Stoic practice, also goes hand in hand with adaptability. Mindfulness is about fully immersing yourself in the present moment. When you practice mindfulness, you gain clarity over your thoughts and emotions, allowing you to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. In this mindful state, you're better able to discern what's worth your attention and what isn't, letting you navigate life with calm precision. By choosing mindfulness, you're choosing to prioritize peace, valuing each moment as an opportunity to grow, reflect, and connect more deeply with yourself. A principle that connects deeply with self-prioritization is authenticity. Living as your truest self without fear of judgment or expectation. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of self-knowledge, knowing who you are, what you value, and what your purpose is. Authenticity means living by those values, staying true to yourself, even when the world pushes you to conform. This isn't always easy, but the rewards are immense. The freedom to live a life that feels right to you, not a life molded by others. Authenticity is the ultimate way to put yourself first, choosing to be fully yourself, unapologetically, and finding peace in that self-acceptance. One more subtle yet powerful Stoic principle is self-restraint, the art of knowing when to hold back, when to observe rather than act, and when to pause rather than push forward. In a fast-paced world, restraint offers a chance to reconnect with your true needs and desires. It teaches you to act intentionally rather than impulsively, to think before you speak, and to pause before making decisions. Self-restraint is a way of protecting your energy, ensuring that you aren't drained by unnecessary drama or decisions that don't serve you. By practicing restraint, you focus on what's most important and reserve your energy for the things that align with your values. Additionally, the Stoic concept of memento mori, or remember that you will die, isn't about fear, but about perspective. Recognizing the brevity of life helps you cut through superficial concerns and focus on what truly matters. When you remember the finite nature of time, you realize that you must prioritize yourself, your well-being, your happiness, your growth, because this life is fleeting. Each day becomes an opportunity to align your actions with your purpose and to live in a way that honors your limited time. Memento mori isn't about gloom, it's about urgency and gratitude, a reminder to live fully and put yourself first so that each moment counts. Stoic detachment teaches us not to cling to outcomes, to accept that life is filled with both joys and sorrows. Detachment isn't about indifference, but about knowing that external factors don't define your peace or happiness. By embracing detachment, you free yourself from the roller coaster of expectations and disappointments, learning instead to find fulfillment within. This principle reinforces the importance of cultivating inner peace, putting your well-being first so that no matter what happens externally, you remain grounded. Each of these principles, when woven into your daily life, creates a framework for living a life that truly honors who you are. It's about building a resilient, centered self that can stand tall through any storm, a self that is rooted in self-respect and committed to inner peace. By prioritizing yourself through these Stoic practices, you create a life that is rich, fulfilling, and aligned with your truest self. Continuing to build on these principles, we come to the value of gratitude for adversity. In Stoic philosophy, challenges and hardships are not obstacles to happiness, but essential components of growth. Stoics believed that facing adversity with grace strengthens character, providing an opportunity to test our resilience and clarify our values. By viewing struggles as teachers, we take ownership of our responses and transform adversity into a source of empowerment. This mindset allows us to transcend temporary setbacks, reinforcing our commitment to putting ourselves first by choosing a perspective that serves our highest good, even during life's toughest moments. This approach also ties into the practice of emotional regulation. The Stoics understood that emotions, while natural, should not dictate our actions. Instead, they advocated for a balanced response to life's challenges, managing our emotions so they align with reason rather than impulse. When you practice emotional regulation, you develop an ability to observe feelings without being consumed by them. This allows you to make decisions from a place of wisdom and stability rather than letting fleeting emotions steer you off course. By choosing to regulate emotions, you're investing in your well-being, creating a life where you're less vulnerable to the turbulence of external events. Closely related to this is the principle of clarity. In Stoicism, clarity comes from honest self-assessment, understanding your strengths, recognizing your flaws, and acknowledging your true desires without self-deception. Clarity is a compass. When you see yourself clearly, you're able to set goals and boundaries that reflect your true self. Practicing clarity is an act of self-prioritization because it enables you to focus on what genuinely fulfills you rather than what society or others expect. In knowing yourself clearly, you're better able to create a life that's aligned with your inner truth, leading to a more peaceful and purpose-driven existence. Stoicism also emphasizes the value of presence. Marcus Aurelius famously wrote about the importance of being fully engaged in the present moment, noting that the past cannot be changed and the future is beyond our control. Living in the present strengthens your connection to yourself, freeing you from regret over past mistakes or worry about future outcomes. When you fully inhabit each moment, you're able to appreciate life as it is, finding joy and gratitude in the small, seemingly mundane details. By embracing presence, you prioritize your mental peace and well-being, creating a habit of mindful living that brings richness and depth to each day. Another Stoic concept that aids in self-prioritization is what we might call the practice of non-attachment to outcomes. Often, we become attached to specific results, believing that our happiness depends on things turning out a certain way. However, the Stoics recognized that outcomes are influenced by many factors outside our control. By practicing non-attachment, you learn to put forth your best effort without becoming overly invested in a particular result. This detachment isn't about indifference, but rather about understanding that fulfillment comes from the effort itself, not necessarily the outcome. When you let go of rigid expectations, you free yourself to experience peace and satisfaction, regardless of how things turn out. The principle of intentional solitude is also valuable in Stoic practice. Solitude, when chosen mindfully, allows you to connect deeply with yourself, free from external distractions and influences. Stoics valued solitude as a time for reflection, self-assessment, and inner growth. By taking intentional time for yourself, you can clarify your goals, recharge your energy, and listen to your inner voice. This practice nurtures self-knowledge and resilience, reinforcing the commitment to prioritize your own needs and well-being. In solitude, you learn to enjoy your own company, becoming less reliant on others for validation or happiness, and more secure in who you are. Patience and tolerance for others is another Stoic practice that paradoxically allows you to put yourself first. By cultivating patience, you develop an inner calm that shields you from frustration and irritation with others' actions. Stoics understood that people act according to their own understanding and limitations, and that we cannot control their behavior. Practicing patience not only reduces conflict, but also conserves your mental energy, allowing you to stay focused on your path without being derailed by others. This inner patience creates a kind of emotional buffer, protecting your peace and allowing you to prioritize your own journey without unnecessary distraction. Another cornerstone of Stoic living is seeking out wisdom from every experience. Stoics were lifelong learners, always open to insights from every person, event, or challenge they encountered. When you approach life with the mindset that every experience offers a lesson, you transform even mundane moments into opportunities for growth. This orientation toward wisdom means that you are constantly refining yourself, adding to your understanding, and evolving into a stronger, wiser version of yourself. Pursuing wisdom is an act of self-respect, an acknowledgement that you are worthy of growth and learning. It's a way of honoring your potential, consistently nurturing your inner world with insights that elevate your life. One more principle that resonates deeply within Stoic philosophy is living with a sense of purpose. Stoics believed that a meaningful life was one lived in accordance with nature and reason, one that serves a higher purpose beyond personal pleasure. When you identify your purpose, whether it's a career goal, a creative passion, or a commitment to personal virtues, you give yourself a reason to wake up every day with intention. This purpose acts as a guide, helping you make decisions that support your vision and avoid those that detract from it. Living with purpose is an act of self-prioritization because it aligns your actions with what truly matters to you, creating a life that is not only fulfilling but deeply meaningful. Compassion, while often associated with others, is also a powerful Stoic principle when directed toward oneself. Self-compassion means recognizing that you are human, allowing space for mistakes, and treating yourself with kindness during moments of failure or struggle. Stoics emphasized the importance of resilience, but resilience doesn't mean never faltering. It means getting back up with grace. When you practice self-compassion, you build an internal environment of support and encouragement. You become your own ally rather than a harsh critic, which strengthens your capacity to grow, learn, and persevere. Self-compassion is a way of showing your self-respect, honoring your humanity, and prioritizing your well-being. The principle of aligning with natural rhythms is also essential in Stoic practice. Stoics believed in living in harmony with nature, not just the physical world, but also our own natural cycles of energy, rest, and renewal. This alignment means understanding that life ebbs and flows, that sometimes you need to push forward and sometimes you need to pull back. By listening to these natural rhythms, you avoid burnout and create a sustainable lifestyle that respects your physical, emotional, and mental needs. Aligning with nature isn't about rigid schedules or forcing productivity. It's about finding balance, honoring your own cycles, and nurturing a lifestyle that puts you first. Finally, Stoics emphasize the importance of self-respect, an inner dignity that comes from living according to your values. Self-respect isn't something that comes from external achievements or validation. It's an inner confidence that you cultivate by staying true to your principles, honoring your commitments, and acting with integrity. When you live with self-respect, you don't compromise your values for temporary gains or approval. This dignity becomes your foundation, a steady inner strength that reinforces the decision to put yourself first. Self-respect protects you from negative influences, strengthens your resilience, and helps you build a life that feels both grounded and fulfilling. In adopting these principles, you create a way of life that honors your own needs and well-being, a way of life that is resilient, purposeful, and deeply fulfilling. Through Stoic practice, you learn that putting yourself first is not about selfishness, but about cultivating inner peace, clarity, and strength. It's about creating a life that respects who you are and encourages you to grow into the best version of yourself, unaffected by external chaos. By embracing these Stoic principles, you lay a foundation of unwavering self-worth and build a life that is both meaningful and deeply satisfying. In embracing these Stoic principles, you'll find yourself not only growing stronger and more resilient, but also leading a life that truly respects your own values and well-being. Putting yourself first through Stoicism isn't about isolating yourself from others. It's about creating a solid foundation of inner peace, clarity, and purpose so you can thrive and contribute positively to the world around you. By living with patience, self-respect, and resilience, you can navigate life's challenges with calm and confidence, building a path that aligns with your true self. If you found these insights helpful, don't forget to like this video, share it with anyone who could benefit, and subscribe to stay connected with more content on Stoicism and personal growth. Thanks for watching, and remember to keep putting yourself first in a way that honors your journey and strengthens your spirit.